I am not sure the family connection. The problem with our parents, they never tell you how closely we related and discuss that with us. You know, my maths and English, well, what I was doing from the GCO level is what I've already known in the West Indies. And she thought, well, because I come from a third world country, I shouldn't be so intelligent. Yes. So, I became now a special pupil in her class. You know, she found it difficult to understand how I can just come to this country and can write proper grammar and English better than the people who've been born in this country. You know, I wrote to him and I said, I want to come to England. You know, what the situation is like regarding jobs. Yeah. I was surprised within a fortnight I got a letter back to him. He said there's plenty of jobs going in Huddersfield. If you come, just let me know when you're coming. I'll come to meet you. Yes, just tell me when you're coming and what boat you're on. I'll come to meet you at the docks. And when I got that letter from him, I said to my parents, I'd like to go to England. You know,
So, Lloyd, thank you for doing this.
you're welcome.
Can you tell me your name?
My name is Lloyd Cudjoe.
And where were you born?
Born in Carriacou, I think Bel Air Hospital, 1943.
Okay. And what area in Carriacou?
Belvedere,
Belvedere.
yes.
Okay. So, who were your parents?
My parents, my mother was Lita, better known as Lita Cudjoe, but her proper name is Theodora. And father name also is better known as Basil Cudjoe, but his proper name was Paul Llewellyn Cudjoe. Yeah.
Do you know your grandparents at all?
I've never met them. All I know that my grandmother Susan Cudjoe and my grandfather was Joseph Cudjoe, but they would die before I was born. Yeah.
So, early life in Carriacou. So, tell me a bit about your early life in school. Where did you go to school?
I went to the Dover Model School at the time. Yeah, yeah, and I did very well. I was very bright because my parents were in Aruba, and I grew up really mainly with my grandmother. But our brilliant scholar at school. I skipped classes twice, and at the age of 14, I was in the highest standard, which is standard 7. Yeah, John, my brother, who's 2 years senior to me. Yeah, and the lowest I come back, I can brag about my early life. I was very bright pupil. I was a very popular student in the school, and my best subject was maths. The lowest marks I ever get in arithmetic, 95. Everything was 98 or 100 in there. Oh, very much, yeah. And I did it all by, again, myself. My parents were around, but I was very much interested in school. And I became so popular in school. I was a very good cricketer, a very good athlete, and uh, and make me very popular with school among the rest of the pupils in school. Yes. I
Uh,
love, I love, I love school. My brother, who is 2 years senior to me, was a teacher, but deep down inside, I was much brighter than him, far much brighter than him.
that's
But
amazing.
I never liked teaching.
So, how many siblings have you got then?
It's 5 of us in the family. Yeah, yeah.
Where do you sit in that?
I'm the second. Nathaniel, who passed away some 13 years ago, died, yeah, 2013, and I'm now here. Yes, yeah,
So, what did your parents do for living back then?
right. My father worked in Aruba um, for many years before he retired and come back home. My mother, she went to Aruba, but what she did, she didn't work. She had a passion for, she loved fashion. So she had a passion for that. She learned sewing and all embroidery, crochet. She could do everything and craft, a lot of craft work, you know. And she came back to Carriacou. She was the top seamstress in the island. Yes.
So did she know my great grandma Tan Rosie?
She
Tell me
knew
about.
everybody in the family. I can tell you that I think she's the godmother of Sidney Cudjoe, is your uncle. And also, Sidney is also the godfather of my last brother, Angel. My first daughter, Sharon, who just rang, his her godfather is Webb Cudjoe, which is your uncle. Yeah, and it's all in the family. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So how are you related exactly to Tan Rosie?
I am not sure the family connection. The problem with our parents, they never tell you how closely we related and discuss that with us, you know. But all I know that we are very closely related. But how we come to be so close, I can't tell you.
Why don't you think they talked about this thing?
One of the things is that I think my father in particular was away when we were young. Yeah, yeah. When he come back, I mean, when he come back to Carriacou to live, resigned permanently after when he got laid off in Aruba, I was about 14 years old. Those times, and he's a man of very few words. My father. Yeah, yeah,
Mhm, mhm.
yeah.
Wow. So did you participate in carnival? What was your were any festivals in Carriacou when you were younger?
Didn't participate because at that time, when to take part in carnival at the time, probably when you leave school and everything, I did not participate. But I do go watch the carnival because I left that on just after my 80th birthday to come to England, and here where I am. But I participate in carnival in England. When I came to England, after a time when I thought, well, they were putting out carnival, which is no, it wasn't in the spirit and the interest of carnival. It wasn't what I expected. So we joined an organization which I was nominated as secretary for the organization, the Grenada Association in Huddersfield. And
Okay.
and then we start taking part in carnival. And I said to myself, what's going on is not good enough. I will put a band out every year that would respect the spirit and the interest of carnival. And we did so. And we got the support from the community when we put the first one out. And for the 10 years after that, we put a carnival out in Huddersfield. Apart from London and Birmingham, Huddersfield was the next best carnival in the country.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will get to that later, but that sounds so interesting. But I want to know a bit more about what life was like in Carriacou when you were younger. So you talked about the carnival. Did you know of any kind of any hurricanes? Did you experience any hurricanes?
Yes.
Please tell me.
I experienced, I think in 1955, Janet, that was a terrible experience. Yes.
What happened in
Yeah.
your experience?
Yeah. Well, we had to, the house roof had went and everything. We had to camp under a bed to shelter. Yes. Yes.
How many of you in the house?
The- at that time, it was one, two, three, four of us in the house.
Under
Yes.
one bed?
Yes, yeah, that's what my father said. Once when the roof gone, he said, "Get on the bed, under the bed, everybody." Yeah,
What kind of house was it? Was it a wooden house or brick house?
it was wooden house. Yes,
Mhm.
yeah. yeah, yeah. And that was a terrible experience because I know we got two close relations who passed away during the hurricane as well too. Yeah.
Can you tell people how? Just tell us what it was like, because I can't imagine being in a hurricane. The noise. What was that like?
There was whistling, this song that the wind and everything was horrible. Yeah, yeah. It was terrible. Yeah. Oh, it was frightening. Honestly, to God, it was frightening. Yeah.
So what did it like? Obviously, did you have a farm and things like that? So you had animals and things like on your land.
Yes, we had lots of land to graze our animals, and I, myself and my brother, we had some sheep and goat. We got lots of land. We feed on them. When my father came from Uruguay, he bought himself a cow, and he deal with that part of. Yes, he deal with that. Myself and my brother, we deal with the sheep and goat.
So when during the hurricane, did you have to sort of tie them down, or how did you prepare yourself for the hurricane when it
Well,
came?
we always take them down. Yeah, we use a stick and with a rope around the animal's neck, stick them down in the pasture. But fortunately, despite the hurricane and everything, none of them had died in the hurricane. They survived. Yeah.
So did you? What was it like when the hurricane passed the next day? Because it took place in the night, didn't it?
Yes.
So when you awoke the next morning, did you sleep that night? I mean,
Well, we couldn't sleep after when the night gone and passed. We couldn't sleep at all. The, the wind died down quite a lot. But when daylight come and we checked to see what all the all the plantation and everything was completely destroyed. Everything was completely destroyed.
how did that feel? How did your parents feel?
Oh, there's nothing we could do because when we feel and then we get the news that people who died from it, we feel grateful that we're still alive. Yes, yeah,
Wow,
yeah.
amazing.
Mhm.
Still hard to imagine.
It is indeed. Mhm.
Gosh,
Yeah.
wow. So did you grow up with any kind of like with any people giving you advice on how to use the like herbal kind of things to help you heal, remedies, anything
No,
like that? Do you know anything about that side of the
no.
culture?
Those times we never been ill regarded with anything at all. Yes, those times we never talk about illness or what prevention of illness at the time. Growing up in Carriacou, you know, the only time we know that when you get the flu, we know what told us to use the basil, the lemongrass, and
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, so
yeah,
you have really, but it's
the black sage bush.
yes.
Yes, yes. So we're told to you use that. Yes, and those were our specialty when we get the flu. We never used to go to the drugstore to buy any tablets or anything to deal with it. We deal with it ourselves. Yeah,
And it worked.
it was work. Yes, it worked perfectly.
So do people carry on those practices now?
I think so. Yes, I don't think they will because I mean it's easier now. It works. Yes. Mm.
So are there any other African, because I assume it's African traditions that you've kept from the family that have been handed down?
The only thing that was handed down is so the big jump.
The what?
The big jump
The big drum.
is the Kojo thing. Yes,
Hmm.
the big jump. The Kojo started the big jump in Carriacou.
Tell me about that.
Yeah, all I can tell you is I know the first and the main one was the big jump from Lemle, that part of Carriacou. We started there. Yes, and it spread throughout the country, throughout the island. Yes, every Lemle have them at a certain month. Then it take place down Harveyville have it a certain month. Mount Crow will have it at a certain time. Yes. Yeah.
So, do you know much about your surname, which is obviously Cudjoe? Do you know much about that?
Yeah. All I know that my ancestors come originally from Ghana, and and they transferred the slave trade into Jamaica. You know, and all I know then, I know during the 18 is it the 18th century, the name they rebel in Jamaica. They were what they were doing. The Cudjoes, what they call themselves, the Maroon. The leader of the Maroon was a Cudjoe. I forget his name, first name. And what they've done in the night time, they say, go into the bush, come down, and they make their own equipment, like machete and everything. They did it all. They come down on the white plantation and free the slavery to come and join them. Yes, and I know because of that too. The Because of that, I think we said William Wilberforce abolished. He got the credit for abolishing slavery, but it's not that. It's because of the white plantation who's been killed and everything. He thought something should be done about it, and he's got sympathy for the slave trade too. He said that shouldn't happen at the time of the year, and he passed bill in Parliament to abolish slavery and everything. And that's as far as I know what happens.
Do you know why there's such strong African connections in Carriacou in terms of the traditions like big drum, parang? Why do you think there's quite a strong influence still? And obviously the names that you can see in the cemeteries, and obviously Kojo,
Yeah,
Kwashi.
yeah, yeah,
Why do you think there's such a strong African connection
yeah.
there?
I think, well, the big jump in particular, I think that it is something that's from ancestors down to children and grandchildren. I think it's right. I mean, even now, the big jump stopped in Cargo for a bit because, I mean, when they resurrected some 10 years ago, and there was a murder committed there. And that had happened since, which I feel disappointed about. But I understand the government is encouraging them to resurrect it and promise to give some financial assistance for it to continue now, which I think is good. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but it was sad to know that that a mother was completed when they decided to resurrect it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Interesting. So, tell me a bit about your migration. So, what were the circumstances of you coming to England? Did your parents come first? How was it?
No, my father, when he got laid off from Aruba and came to Carriacou, he decided he wasn't going to travel anymore because he was offered a job in America. And my mother tell him, well, that time was myself and my elder brother that was born at the time. The others come long after me. What she said to him, you go, get the boys over, and then you can come back. And all he said, there's plenty of opportunity for the boys. They'll find somewhere to go when the time is right, you know. And he said he's not going anywhere again. He's happy with. He's happy to just come and work his land and enjoy life, and that's what he did. My mom was very disappointed that he didn't pick up the opportunity and think about us. Yes,
So, what happened to your mum then? So your mum and dad stayed in Carriacou,
in Carriacou.
and so how did you get here?
Well, I got a job. I mean, I did get a job working for I think it was the largest company in Carriacou, called the W.E. Julian and Company. Yes,
What did they do?
groceries. Yeah, yeah, and I got a job there because I, I was so bright in school. I think I got a very good reference. I can never forget that I got a good reference from the headmaster. Yeah, when I applied for that job. you know. And I was surprised when I get there. The manager of the company was Mr. Ben Coy. He said to me, "Lord, I'm offering you this job." He said, your reference is outstanding, what I got from the headmaster. And I'm not interviewing anybody else. I'm offering you this job, you know. I said, thank you. Yes.
Wow.
And I've worked there for what, 18 months. And I think just after my 18th birthday, I thought, well, all my friends coming to England, I think I want to travel to. And yes. And I did a cousin of mine who was already in England. I rang and I wrote to him and I said, I want to come to England, you know, what the situation is like regarding jobs. Yeah. I was surprised within a fortnight I got a letter back to him. He said there's plenty of jobs going in Huddersfield. If you come, just let me know when you're coming. I'll come to meet you. Yes, just tell
Wow.
me when you're coming and what boat you're on. I'll come to meet you at the docks. And when I got that letter from him, I said to my parents, I'd like to go to England. You know, just after my 18th birthday, I was involved in an accident. It's my fault too again, and which I thought I shouldn't have been, because it's only in the week my father said to me, "It's dangerous traveling on the back of a tractor." I was from home on the back of a tractor. It's dangerous, and I still ignore him. And it so happened that before the week ended, I got involved in an accident. Myself and another friend of mine who work at the same company was on it, and he lost his balance and he threw me onto the wheels of the tractor,
Oh,
and the tractor take me over. And a few, well, he stopped in time. Yes, if a few feet more, he could have been my head. I could have been crushed. So I went to hospital and everything when it come out, and I think I get better enough. I just thought there's nothing for me in Carriacou now. I like to go to England. I told my mother I'd like to go to England, and she was all for it. Yes, yeah. And then when I told my father, I said, if that's what you want, that's your wish, you can have it. My older brother now, who was in school teaching, I told him I'm going to England. He didn't believe me.
why not?
uh, he thought, well, he thought I'm joking. I said, no, I'm going to England. Well, when my mother went and paid the fee and everything, and he decided, he said, well, you're not leaving me, I'm going to. He couldn't, because he had to give a month's notice in teaching before he can come. So I came to England, he came a month after.
Right.
Yes.
So how was that for your parents? Two children at that point just left the country. How
Yes.
did they feel? They're obviously proud of you, or but did they miss you?
Well,
How did you communicate?
parents knew, in particular myself, because I knew when he came, my father got laid up and come home. The headmaster came to him and said, we have no, we can't teach Lloyd any more than what he already known. He should go to GBS, the grammar school in Grenada. Yes, yeah. Because of my popularity, I think where I failed it, because of my popularity, I used to get a lot of friends coming home visit me, especially when people like to do the maths and everything. They knew I was good at maths. A lot of them, especially the girls, used to come to my home. Lloyd, can you help me out with the maths? Doing homework and thing. They used to come home and do it, but my father was concerned about it, because he thought, well, when the children from home, they should go to the parents' home. They shouldn't be coming here, and anything can happen. So my mother already did seen it and wanted to know why they. I explained to her that they just want help with the maths and everything, or to work it out, and we assisted them. She came and she was happy with it, and she accepted the situation, you know. But when my father came in, he told my mother, "Well, you deal with it, because I don't know. She said, I don't want any happening with children. He said, you deal with it. So my order to stop them from coming. Yes, from coming home. But we weren't interacting in any way or not, you know. Yeah.
Mm. So you came over. So how did you come to England? So what was the journey like?
It was it was a good journey. I forget the name of the boat you came over, but it took us a fortnight to get
Oh,
from Carriacou to England.
oh, what year was this? Sorry,
That in 1961.
61.
Yeah.
So you came over by ship. Where did you go?
We
Other
went.
places?
We first went to first place from Grenada. I think we went to Trinidad, Jamaica, and from Jamaica went to French place.
Martinique, Guadeloupe,
We went to
Saint
Guadeloupe.
Lucia.
We went to Guadeloupe, and then from Guadeloupe, I think we come direct across the Atlantic Ocean, and we ended up in Dover.
Right.
Yeah.
So what was it like on the ship for you? Did you enjoy it?
Yes, it was okay. It was a pleasant journey.
Did you like the food?
The food was, it wasn't up to not really stand, but we cope with it. Yeah.
Mhm. And you were 18 at this point,
18.
traveling. And did you travel with anybody else? Did you know anyone that I know you said your brother was coming later, but did you know anybody that was leaving at the same time?
Yes, not people from Carriacou at the same time, but none of my companion age. It wasn't, yeah, a lot elder than I am. Yeah,
Did you make friends on the boat?
I do. Yes, yes.
Did you keep in contact with them when you arrived?
No, 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 because at the time I was coming to Huddersfield, and I think they were going to London and other areas.
So did you have accommodation arranged, sorted for Huddersfield when you came?
Yeah, my cousin was already arranged that I joined him because we lived together. Fortunately, we lived together in the same room. Yes, we share. Yeah,
Did he come to pick you up?
he came to pick me up. Yes,
How did he pick you up? Was it just
he come with a car. Yeah, a friend come with a car. Yes, and it wasn't just me traveling up. There was a couple of other people who was going back to Huddersfield as well. Was in the same car. Yeah,
and what time of the year was that?
1961.
No, but was it
That's
winter or summer
well,
or
it's going to be. It was mid-October.
oh gosh, that must have been a culture shock.
Yes, yes, because it was very cold that year. 1961, up to 1963, 1961, 62, 63 were a very cold winter. Yeah, but again, we come with a hot blood and everything. We didn't feel it. We didn't feel it so desperate. But the first thing my cousin bought me when I got all they call it a donkey jacket,
Oh
a
yes,
thick jacket to wear. Yes. Yeah.
I bet you were grateful for that.
Oh yes.
Oh, so what were your first impressions apart from the weather? What did you think about where your
Well, it's
surroundings?
strange. Yeah, when I first came, it was strange. I seen the smoke coming out in the chimney when it's cold fire, and the chimney and the smoke coming out. It was an experience. Yes. Yes.
Did you think you made a mistake?
Well, at the beginning, I did thought I made a mistake, but I soon get accustomed to it.
Mhm.
Yes, I,
And carry on.
I did when I get here. I thought, well, I'd like to. My first impression, I like to further my education when I came here, you know. And when I make inquiries, that they do what they call technical college at the time, when it started in September, and I came in October, you know. And I told my cousin, I said, well, look, I don't want to sit doing nothing. My ambition is to further my education. Yeah. And when I went to make inquiry technical college, they said to me that well, it started since September. Say you miss a lot of you would miss a lot, in the beginning of the subject. I wanted to do my O-level maths and English. And she said to me, I said, I'll learn quick. I said to her, I will learn quick. They hesitated. I said, I would learn quick. I said, catch up. And they accepted my explanation. They say, all right, and if we'll put you in, and if you take a long time to catch up, we'll have to defer you for the following year. But when it got there, I did so well. I became a special pupil. She wants to just come into this country. All right, when you're doing Précis, I write proper grammar, better than the native here. And she couldn't understand it.
Ah,
Yeah.
that's interesting because how do you compare the education standards in in the Caribbean to
Well,
England?
my maths and English, well, what I was doing from the GCO level is what I've already known in the West Indies. And she thought, well, because I come from a third world country, I shouldn't be so intelligent. Yes. So, I became now a special pupil in her class. She found it difficult to understand how I can just come to this country and can write proper grammar and English better than the people who've been born in this country.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Yes, that's a big thing that a lot of people don't understand about people from the Caribbean
Yeah.
who were in the English British system.
Yeah.
The education was
Very high.
Was very
Carriacou,
high.
the education, I proved that the education, what we got in Carriacou, a lot better than what it was in England at the time. Yes. Yes.
Wow, brilliant. So you came when you were 18, you came to Huddersfield at your cousin's,
Yes. Nicholas, my cousin.
and you shared a room with him.
Yes.
So what was that like? How
Was-
long were you there?
We've been together for a good 3-4 years together, and then I decided we separate. Go. He went. He went. He went out separate, and I went separate because it was living in the attic with the highest part. I thought, well, I need a better room than being involved in the attic in the coldest
Yes.
part of the house. So I went and I get another flat of a single room flat of my own. He went and get a single room flat of his own, another different address.
Right. So in the 3 years, so when you first arrived, you got the flat with your cousin. What did you do? Did you go straight into looking at education, like colleges or work?
Yes.
What was the situation?
Right. My first application for a job when I got it was a place called LB Holiday.
LB Holiday.
Yes. And they were advertising for something as a stock keeper, And I thought, well, I'm going to apply for this job. I did apply. The managing director, the direct employment director sent me for an interview. And I got there, and he looked at me. He asked me, who wrote this those time you got to apply, who wrote this application? I said, I did. Yeah. He didn't believe me. I can tell he didn't believe me. And he said to me, I can't offer you this job. You're looking too young for this job. He asked, how old are you? I told him I'm 18 years old. He said, I can't offer you this job. I said, most of these job chemical names, it is difficult for you to understand, and I can't offer you this job. I said I will learn quickly because at that time my brain was very sharp. Yeah. He said, no, I can't do it. See, he asked me what I would like to do. I said, well, if possible, while I'm working, if I can further my education, I'll be happy to do that. He said, what I can do, I'll offer you a job to be a chemical assistant, and then I'll send you to college 1 day a week, and whatever you want to learn, if is on that particular day, you can follow your education particular day. You can have the day off free with pay. Yes. And I said, thank you, well, I'll consider it. And well, what the salary would be if say we'll start you off with £5 a week. You know, at that time it was quite a lot of money. I accepted the situation. Yes. So what I did, and very fortunately, I was doing chemistry the day I was doing chemistry there, and on the same day I could have done English and maths there. So very fortunate. So from chemistry, when I did the chemistry, the afternoon I get to do O-level English and maths. So within a year, I did my O-levels and I got and passed. Yeah. And then while I'm doing that, because I was so good with figures, my ambition was to try and get a job working into a bank, if I can, you know. And I did a diploma course in accountancy. Yes, yes. So within 3 years, I did my O levels and a diploma in accountancy. I got a diploma in accountancy within 3 years while I'm working, you know. And I thought, well, now that I get my papers and things, I may applied for the banks. They wouldn't employ me. And I knew it just because of racism, you know. But I did not give up hope. I just thought, well, I'll have to accept my situation. But what didn't succeed in, I'll make sure that my children will succeed. I said, I will give my children the good. I notice when my aunt and uncle they go to work in the dark. In those times, they come back in the dark. And then they had to go and cook when they come back from work after this trade. When they had to wash on weekend, yes. And again, they got to go scrubbing board and doing it. So I said to myself, if I'm married and I have children, I don't want my children to work in so hard in that way. I'll make sure that they get the education they need. Yes, that's what I promised myself. And so I did. Yes.
Wow.
I give my children a good education. They're reaping the harvest of it now. Yeah. Son is he's 90. He's an IT consultant. Work for IBM. My daughter now is a solicitor. Yeah.
So those brains have carried through
Yes.
but they've had you as a role model.
Yes.
So I think that's a big thing for young people.
Yeah.
You've got that inspiration to look up to. I know I've had that in my family.
Yeah. Yeah.
So wow, that is amazing.
I could remember one thing. You won't believe me. We had the headmaster set us some sums to do one day. Everybody got it wrong except me, Lloyd. And guess who was the teacher? He went away. He had to go to a meeting, and teacher Sidney was coming to work out the sum with us, and he himself got it wrong, and I got it right. And the good thing about it, you know, I mean, it was an embarrassment to him as well. At the same time, he came to me and asked me, "Let me see what you do to get it." You know, and I told him, but he never go back and tell these people. But all these people were laughing at it. You know, he just said, "We beg to disagree with the book. The answer in the book."
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought he would have gone correct it and explain to them and work it out. I showed him how I work it out, but he didn't do that. No, because he felt it was too embarrassing for him because he's teacher and he couldn't work this out and I did work and I know the answer to it, you know. And I never forget that day. Mm.
Yeah, that's should be proud.
Yeah.
That's amazing achievement.
Yeah.
just back then.
Yeah.
So you couldn't get into the bank, so you went into what work?
I could get a job into the bank, but one I noticed there was the advertising for bus drive for employees working bus conductors on the bus. I said, let me try the bus conductors on the bus, you know, because I didn't like working in the LB holidays at the Diaspora division, and I don't work in the sheds. I just walking up and down in the yard. I noticed all my underwear stained with dye and everything just by walking up and down in the yard. I thought, well, I wouldn't want to work here for a long time because I think it's dangerous. Yeah. Knowing what I knew when I was doing chemistry, the dye can be dangerous later on in life,
Right.
you know. And I thought, well, it's time to move on from there. So I applied for the job. They gave me some sums to do to make sure. It was, to me, were mental arithmetic.
So that was nothing to you.
Nothing for me to do. So she gave me the secretary, whatever she was at the time, gave it me. She went, only when she back in her back, she passed me back, she showed me, put me hand on my jaw. He said, oh, you can manage it. I said, I've done it. She couldn't believe it, you know? And she couldn't take it away from me. He said, well, you come to me. While the others, the other white groups, they all complaining about the figure they can't get to it, you know? And she went back to the travel superintendent, I think at the time was called the transport superintendent. And she said, well, he done it within 5 minutes. He done the sum within 5 minutes. So he said to me, we like to employ you and we want to employ you straight away, you know? So I said, well, I can't do, but I will have to give a week's notice at my workplace. Yeah. He said, well, I will deal with it. I said, if you accept, it was a Friday, I took the test. If you come to us on Monday, I promise you, within 3 months, I'll give you a week's holiday with pay. And if you short of money, we can give you an advance.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
They
So
really wanted you.
yes, so I accepted. So I didn't have to go back. What I did before I go back, he rang the company and said, we have an employee of yours. We'd like to start him work on start him work on Monday. You know? They tell him that, well, he's got to give a week's notice. He will lose a week's pay if he come and take his card. He said he will come and take it. He's coming back and collect his card. Will you get all his documents ready when he's come back? And he said to me, you come back, and if you short of money, I'll give you advance.
Wow.
Yeah. And I accepted that. And I work on the buses, been a conductor for nearly 2 years, and then I became a driver in 1966. And I work on the buses, an official retirement after 44 years on the bus. I retired. But I had to stay on the bus because the condition on the bus, it was run by the local authority when I started. And the condition, they suited me because overseas employee at the time, if you want to go home to visit your parents, come back, they allow you up to 3 months leave of absence. Yes. And we had the opportunity to save a holiday up to build up to as much many weeks until that day. I say that suits me very fine, you know. Yes, I thought, well, that suits me very fine, and I thought I wouldn't get that anywhere else. Like I remain on the bus.
Makes sense.
Yes, yeah, and the salary at the time what they were getting on the bus was maybe something 3 times more the male workers were getting, and they worked twice as harder than I did.
Why do you think that was? There was a discrepancy.
Well, again, the textile, again, most of them work is piecework too. You got to they got to work hard to earn a decent salary, you know. But being on the bus, again, the condition is very good on there. and they always shot the drivers, they always shot the conductors. When you work in, you get better rates of pay. When I work on the buses at the time, when if I work my day off on a Sunday, I'll get double time and a half working it on a Sunday. It boosts my salary up. Yeah,
How much were you paid in that job a week? Is it weekly?
it's paid weekly. Well, again, it varies. It's started up, but the problem is when you work overtime, every overtime is time and a half. Even though you do your shift and you work 3 hours overtime, you get a time and a half. It mounts up. Yeah.
But that job, those kind of jobs, you were able to, you had the flexibility, there were good perks, and you could buy a house. Did you buy a house not long after that job? How did that
Bought
work?
a house in 1969.
Was it easy to get?
Yes, it was easy to get. Again, I was working for the local authority at the time, and it was easy because at that time the local authority was giving out loans, especially people who work come under the especially people who is working for them. They know that the salary is coming in, and I was working on the buses. The local authority was my employer. Yeah, yeah, and got the loan from the local authority, which was much cheaper than the private from private.
Oh, so they did that to kind of keep you in a sense. Well, they actually supported you to get a house because you were with that company.
Yes,
So
yes, yes,
right,
yes, yeah,
amazing,
yeah.
interesting.
Mm.
Wow, brilliant. So, is there anything that you miss about Carriacou?
Yes, I mean, it's tradition, the lifestyle in Carriacou. You miss that kind of lifestyle in Carriacou. Yeah, never forget that. I can never forget that.
Who taught you how to cook?
My mother, she was a good cook. She was a very good cook.
What did she cook that was good? Tell
Yeah,
me about the
yeah.
food you ate.
Her specialty was the pea soup. Yes, yeah, yeah.
Did you do anything particular to the pea soup to make it sumptuous?
Well, she's got away. Well, again, she had knew all the recipe when she was in Aruba. She did learn to do all this, that, to cook, to bake, and everything. And when she came over, when she decided she's not going back to Aruba anymore, she's stopping home here to set a business up. She started sewing. She sewed wedding dresses. She was top seamstress in the island. The two top seamstresses in the island, it's from our family. Yes, my
Wow.
mother and Onilia Sylvester. The two top seamstresses in the island was from
Yes,
Belvedere.
O'Neilly was my grandmother,
Yes, I know.
my
Yes,
maternal grandmother.
yes,
Yes.
yes. The two top seamstresses in the island was come from Belvedere.
Wow.
Yeah, and at that time, my mother had a machine, but machine company. She was the only one in the island when they won the cloth. So with the gold rim and silver rim, my mother was the only person in Carriacou who had the machine to make that. So everybody come from everywhere to get that from my mother. Yes, yeah,
Wow. Amazing.
and not that she did a course in she did all about baking in Carriacou. So she had a big internal oven cook stove in the house, and she built one outside. Yeah. Anytime there's wedding, she showed the wedding dress, the bridesmaid dress, and she also catered to the wedding cake and everything. She does all of that. Yes, she was very busy and active and doing these things.
So, when you came over, you said your mom and dad were stayed in Carriacou. When did you next see them again?
We came in 61 and I went home in 1967. Yes.
How long did you go for?
I spent 3 months home.
How did
Yeah.
that feel when you went to see them?
Yes, go back again, learn the roots and everything. Yes. And one thing she said to me, You got to follow your father tradition. You can't go back without having a fist in the yard, friend's plate, and everything, and the big jump. Yes, he said that is your generation motive. You can't do that. You've got to do that before you go back. I said I wasn't planning for that. He said, well, you're going to have it done. He said that is the family tradition. Yes, I'm telling you, that's what your father wants. Because my father died in 1963. He was a young man, and he was in his
So,
about 48 years old.
so you died while you were here. You died while you were here.
Yes,
Yes, yeah.
yes, yes. And
Oh,
at that time, we couldn't go because there were no plane flying from England to Carriacou at the time. It's just boat and you take to it. Yes.
how did that feel?
Well, to be truthful, it did hurt. Yes. Yeah, we couldn't go for the funeral. Neither me or my brother, neither of us, because it's a boat we had to go on. Yeah,
Gosh. So
yeah.
your mum was on her own, or did your mum have some other family living with her? Or
Well, at that time, yes, she had a sister who was not living with her, but living in the same village there. And then we had other sisters who were living from Six Roads. They all come and comfort her and everything. Yeah.
did she not want to come to England at that point?
No, 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 no,
Mm.
no, no. She was the guardian of the family property home. Yes.
But she sounds like she was set up anyway because she was sewing, so she had income,
Yes.
so she
Yes.
was self-sufficient anyway, so
Yes.
she could afford to do what she
Yeah.
wanted. So
Yeah.
that's good.
She even, well, she would get paid at one time, and she got paid from the government to teach pupils from the Dover Model School teach sewing. Yes.
Wow, what a
Yes.
woman!
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yes.
So, what do you think young people should know about Carriacou?
What the, I think people who born in the people who got born in Carriacou should take the children back and explain the lifestyle in Carriacou to them. It would be a good thing for them to do, because my kids went to. They know what the lifestyle is like. They know everything with Carriacou, what it's like. And my son even bought a house in Carriacou, hoping to unfortunately for him, the day after he signed the contract and everything, the storm passed.
Peril.
Yes, yes,
Oh,
yes, yes, yes,
it's terrible.
yes.
Did you ever think you would move back when you initially came here to work? Did you think, right, I'm going to stay here 5 years and then go back?
That was my plan in the beginning, but unfortunately, I didn't. As the time go, I got an illness, and because of my situation, I knew with the present illness I have, I couldn't live in Carriacou with it. I've got to stay in this country. Yeah, yeah.
So, what does Carriacou mean to you now? In closing,
It's, it, there's a place in my heart for Carriacou because that's where I born. That's where I grew up. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a place in my heart for Carriacou. I like to go back again to pay a visit because with my last brother who lives on the foundation now, he wants to know when I'm fit enough and able to go so that he can go. He built a house on the family foundation now, so he control the property there now. Fair enough. Yeah.
so tell me about the organisation you set up.
With the Grenada Association, there was a Grenada Association, and I think it fell through, and I decided we should resurrect it
When did you set this up?
in 1982, I think. I decided we should resurrect it, and I was elected to be. They invited me to the meeting and everything, and to listen why. And I said, yes. I say it's good, and I spoke there, and because by speaking, they decided they will start electing officers and everything to start the organization. And I was elected to be the secretary of the organization. I accepted the position, and then I did set up the organization and everything. And there was a council called the Racial Equality Council at that time. I affiliated the organization, the Grenada Association, to the Racial Equality Council, and I was given a seat in the executive committee of that Racial Equality Council. I got, in doing so, we were the Racial Equality Council was funded by central government as well as the local council here. Yeah. We get funding in excess of £300,000 at the time. We employed a solicitor. We employed teachers to teach people who come over from foreign countries, like because the racially come to make up of the Asian community as well, so West Indian community. But the Asian were getting most of the and we the West Indian were left out. I thought, well, I better get Grenada Association involved. There was a Caribbean Association also, which I say affiliate with the Caribbean Association. But the people who run the Caribbean Association is, to me, they wasn't active enough to do what I think they should be doing. The Racial Equality Council, I've got the leverage. We have a solicitor that any member of the community who couldn't afford a solicitor to get people to come to this country or been discriminated about that can't afford a solicitor, we have the Racial Equality Council to deal with that on their behalf. And I thought, well, my best move is to join the Racial Equality Council. And I've been there for 10 years on the executive committee there. And by doing so, and being involved in politics, at one time, 1983, 1984, I was a member of the Labour Party. I got elected on the General Committee of the Labour Party,
Wow.
of the Labour Party. I used to go around knocking houses and especially when it came to election time, asking people to support the party and everything. I did all of that. And when we have a meeting, the leader of the council said to me, Lloyd, you should be a councillor because you seem to know more how the council should run than some of the councillors who've been elected in the committee. So at one time, they wanted to select me to run for councillor of the Cone Valley constituency, yes. And I turned it down, and the simple reason why I turned it down, I thought, well, the welfare of my children is more important to me. And my wife at the time wasn't interested in politics too. When you're in the function, whenever you go to a function and everything, you like your partner to go with you. And I thought, well, she's not interested in politics, so I better stick to and to my kids. Yes, the welfare of my children means more important to me. Yeah, I also get trained up. I mean, I went to Bradford College. I was a shop steward at my workplace. I should have mentioned that to you, for good 25 years, senior shop steward. I couldn't get elected to be a branch chairman or secretary because it's by election, and the Asian and the whites are more dominate. The more employees are the Asian and the whites. Mm-hmm. So I could never get elected.
There was a hierarchy.
Yes. Mm. So I became the senior shop steward. The next, apart the Asian, the chairman and the secretary, I was next the senior shop steward there. Yes, yes. And I stay loyal to them. And many of those colleagues at them who get to union, whenever there's an appointment like an inspector required, they apply for it and got the job together. But when they have want me to be an inspector, I turned it down. I thought, well, it'd be a betrayal to my membership if I do that. I stay loyal to the membership of the association. I was offered even also a scholarship to go to Edinburgh University, 2 years distance learning course, but that was more the political side of the union. And I thought, well, no, no, I don't want to be to do it. I rather think about my family at the time. My first daughter and son, I better remain to deal with them because my next son come long after,
Oh,
10 years after yeah, yeah. And I stopped there and I thought, well, I better make sure my daughter and son get the education to go forward in life. And so said, so done. They reaping the harvest of it now.
Lloyd, you're inspirational because not a lot of people would have done that necessarily. I'm
No.
sure some people would have just thought, right, I'm
Yeah,
off.
yeah,
But you
yeah,
didn't. You
yeah.
stuck it out there and you did it.
Yeah. I was very fortunate to, and again, it's I suppose because if you believe in education, you believe in that, you do the right things so that those who you bring up into this world will follow your footsteps. And I'm glad to see that my children are following my footsteps.
That is your success.
Yes. So,
That is your success. I
yeah,
mean, that's phenomenal.
yeah,
Because without you and your resilience and your strength,
yeah.
they wouldn't have been able to have done that. Your
No,
kids.
no.
So you've succeeded in life
Yes.
amazingly. So
Yeah,
you've got
yeah.
so much to be proud of. And
Well, I'm proud of them because my son, they want a very high salary, daughter a very high salary. Yes,
wow,
yes, yes. They could
that,
live. They can afford to live in London without any fare, for
mm,
a fare.
mm,
Yeah,
that's brilliant.
yeah,
Down to you.
yeah,
Down to you coming over as a teenager
yeah,
and just grafting.
yeah,
Lloyd, thank you so much. That was brilliant. It was
yeah,
so informative. It's just your story is so interesting. It's very different. Every story is different.
yeah.
The people I speak to,
Mm.
and I just I just want to say you're resilient, your strength to come over at that age and to get work, to not be deterred by setbacks is phenomenal.
Yeah,
And you've inspired obviously your children
yeah,
and their children as well and everybody else.
yeah.
So thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Yeah.